The defense of Fort Eben-Emael in May 1940 was a dramatic episode during the early stages of the German invasion of Belgium, part of the broader campaign known as Fall Gelb. Located near the Albert Canal in eastern Belgium, Fort Eben-Emael had been constructed in the 1930s as one of the most advanced and heavily fortified military installations in Europe. Built to protect the strategic bridges at Veldwezelt, Vrouwenhoven, and Caen, the fort covered a surface area of 75 hectares and featured thick reinforced concrete, retractable gun turrets, anti-aircraft positions, and a complex underground network of barracks, tunnels, and supply depots. Armed with heavy artillery including 75mm and 120mm guns capable of targeting any crossing attempt over the canal, the fort was considered practically invulnerable to a conventional ground assault. Its garrison numbered approximately 1,200 soldiers from the Belgian 1st Fortress Regiment, and Belgian military doctrine assumed that the fortress would be able to hold out for weeks, providing critical time for Allied reinforcements to mobilize. However, the German Wehrmacht, under the leadership of General Kurt Student and the Luftwaffe's 11 Fliegerkorps, devised a bold and unprecedented plan to neutralize the fort in the first hours of the invasion. A special unit of just 85 elite Fallschirmjäger, paratroopers, from Sturmabteilung Koch was trained in secret for months, rehearsing their mission on full-scale mock-ups in Germany. Their objective was not to take the fort in a traditional siege but to land directly on top of it using silent DFS-230 gliders and destroy its vital gun positions before the defenders could react. On the early morning of May 10, 1940, as German forces launched their Blitzkrieg across Belgium, the gliders detached from their tow planes and swooped silently onto the roof of Fort Eben-Emael in near total darkness. The surprise was complete. Within minutes, the paratroopers had set explosive charges on the main artillery turrets and casemates using specially developed shaped charges that could penetrate concrete and steel. Belgian defenders, still waking up and disoriented, offered limited and uncoordinated resistance. Several Belgian counterattacks were attempted from within the underground galleries, but the Germans maintained their positions on the surface, repelling any efforts to retake the top of the fort. Meanwhile, other German airborne units secured the nearby bridges, ensuring that German armored divisions could advance swiftly into Belgian territory. After a day of intense fighting and bombardment, the fort's commanding officer, Major Jotrand, realizing that the fort's main guns had been rendered useless and that reinforcements were not forthcoming, surrendered on May 11. The entire operation had lasted only about 30 hours. The fall of Fort Eben-Emael sent shockwaves throughout the military world, showcasing the effectiveness of airborne troops and gliderborne assaults in bypassing traditional fortifications. It was a humiliating defeat for the Allies and a clear demonstration of the innovation, planning, and precision that characterized the German military strategy in the early years of World War II. The rapid collapse of what had been regarded as an impregnable fortress marked the beginning of the end for Belgium's defense, as German panzer divisions poured through the breached lines and continued their unstoppable advance toward France.